Hey guys, Jen Graves here, doing a video for you guys. I'm a little behind on two of these. I'm doing a lot of videos today, so you'll see this shirt on a bunch of stuff. But this one is AmeskeOHJ's 7 questions tag for January. I feel weird because I was the first one to do one of his other ones and some other people's ones, and then I get this one and I'm like all behind. So anyway, so let's just hop into this. I got rewind ransoms after this one too, so stay tuned for that one. This video coming up. I got a couple more videos for you guys, so like I said, stay tuned. For the first question, what manga character represents you and reminds you of yourself? A manga character that represents me, that's a lot. I mean, honestly, if you've heard me ever talk about my home run crew friends and stuff, it was kind of a little group that we had in high school that we hung out and everything, and it was just kind of like our love for anime and gaming and everything kind of put us together, and we all got titles for a specific Naruto character that we were. So as you guys know, I would have to probably go, if I had to pick one, I would probably have to go with a combination between my boy Kakashi and one of the other ones that a lot of people, for some whatever reason, calling each other by our code names and whatnot. I got insinuated with Jiraiya and Jiraiya, Itachi, and Sasuke. So if you've heard me talk about that before, that's why a lot of my friends, sometimes if you hear them say it, they'll, they see me walking down the street or something, they'll be like, Kakashi of the Sharingan, or something like that. Some random stuff. I feel like my title grew from there, as I feel like it does on here, because a lot of people just give me a lot of random nicknames or made-up names or titles or whatever. The latest one, shout out to Bizarre Individual. Supposedly, I'm going by King. I don't know why. Some of the other ones are the Gravedigger, Jin Boy, regular Jin, my regular one, Jin Graves. I think somebody's called me Gravy before. I mean, there's a lot of different names I have. So, yeah. I would probably say like a combination between those characters, but, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of characters, and I feel like I connect with all of them, because we all have, different parts of our personality and stuff, and we kind of go and stick with different characters and stuff. Sometimes I feel like I'm moody and don't want to talk to anybody, and but I'm still like, if you ask me a question, then it's kind of like overkill because I'll answer it to the fullest extent. Kind of like L from Death Note. Happy-go-lucky sometimes, like Luffy from One Piece. Courageous, like Naruto. A lot of different stuff. Going out of my way, like Ichigo. I mean, just a lot of different characters. So, Kakashi, I would say, is my number one. But, I mean, I don't feel like it's really limited there. I go with a bunch of different characters. So, anyway, number 2, which I hear this one is causing a lot of controversy, especially coming to the party late in the game. But, so, if all manga went digital tomorrow, what would you do? I would probably stop reading manga, sad to say. I mean, it's a good thing I have these shelves over here that I have so much manga to finish and whatnot. But if it all went digital, I probably wouldn't read it. Just from past experience, whenever I got the Shonen Jump magazine, I have all of it into its entirety. All, God, I don't know how many volumes it is. But Shonen Jump magazine was huge. I mean, we had one come out every year. Then as it started losing steam, I mean, we had maybe, I don't know, 8 that came out, or 10 something. We lost 2 because it was every month. We lost a couple, and then we got down to the last time I remember it came out every 3 months. So I didn't continue with it. I didn't get anything. I don't use the app, even though I know a lot of people do use that. There's just a lot. So, you know, I probably wouldn't be into manga as much anymore. And another thing, and I like hearing what all you guys think, and I like adding to it. So, guys, we're just going to go out there and let you guys know this. How many of you guys wear glasses? Not saying that's a bad thing, but whenever I was trying to catch up on Bleach when I was younger, I did read some scans and stuff for that. Tried to catch up on it, some other ones that we read, and honestly, I found out reading scans online took me a lot longer. I read less manga doing that. And the reason being was basically the light from the computer. I don't know if you guys know, there's studies out there that show basically staring at a computer screen actually hurts you more than helps you. Not a lot of people know that. That basically staring at a computer screen hurts you more most of the time. I mean, sure, for us kind of looking at comments and stuff, but if you sit there for a long period of time reading scans, it actually affects your eyesight a little bit. And in this coincidence, what happened to me was I was sitting there and I was reading and I kept having these migraine headaches and I couldn't figure out why. And one day I was like, okay, well, I'm not, I have this other manga that I'm going to read. I got new volumes in. I'm going to read this. No migraines. Went back to reading the scans, trying to catch up again. Headaches came back, and it was kind of I did it a couple times before I realized, hey, staring at a dark screen at night or, sitting there reading on a computer screen or my cell phone screen for a long period of time was actually doing that to me. It was hurting me more to do it. I was reading less, and it was like I needed a longer recovery time because of the light from the phone and all the other stuff. And like I said, there's also studies shown, especially if you have like a desk job or something like that, you actually blink less, and it dries out your eyes, and it affects that way too. So, I mean, that's also some other stuff. I probably wouldn't do things like that because of different stuff like that. So, yeah. But that's about it. I know everybody else has done it from the other standpoint of the mangaka's not getting paid, some of the other stuff like that. So I figured I'd pull a little science in there for you, a little psychology studies and stuff. That way you guys would know that and see that as well. Maybe you guys have this experience, but I mean, a lot of different things happen off of this. Like I said, though, supposedly reading scans online for a long period of time, like I said, also affects your eyesight, and it could make you basically have to get a bigger prescription or whatever on your glasses, lenses, different things like that. I mean, there's a whole long study that goes with a bunch of this stuff, and I know a lot of us probably don't know that reading scans, but in the long run, it affects us. So anyway, moving on from there, I hope that explains a little more to you guys. So That's another reason why I have so many paperback copies instead of anything digital, because of that. If I try and read any scans, I mean, it's still like a minimum. There's maybe one series I would read, and everything else, it's just kind of out of the window. So, all right. There's a war of the publishers. What 3 to 5 points would you use to argue your favorite publisher? Um, Honestly, my favorite publisher, I feel like not a lot of people use them, but they are still my favorite publisher, especially because of a lot of different stuff. When we had the whole Shueisha stuff, these were the only people that actually called me back. If a lot of y'all don't know this, when we had that whole scare, I started calling all the different publishers and stuff that we had here in America. I was like, hey, do you guys care? As us as manga tubers, if we need to form some kind of a guild union or whatever to continue doing what we love, what is it? And everybody got back with me. These people were the only ones that called me back and said, as far as we understand your question, no, as long as you're not selling our product, we don't care. Because we basically view it as you were doing advertisement work for us for free, stuff like that. So, really good. I mean, I didn't get to talk to them again, because it was like a whole ordeal that I was trying to contact everybody, emails and phone calls and all this other stuff, trying to figure out for our community. But, yeah, so these people, let me see if I got a volume back here. Yep, I got one right here on top. So, if you guys don't know, especially, it's Udon Entertainment. Udon Entertainment, like I said, is probably my favorite publisher. Just because of them getting back with me so fast, and actually making the call, having a phone that you can actually contact, different stuff like that. I mean, it was just so good, and they put out a lot of good series that I think go underrated. I mean, and they have a really good high quality book. Let me show you this one again. If you guys don't know, this is one of my favorite ones. It's Otherworldly Isekai Nobu. It was like my number one for 2018 that came out. So you have these. You have your fold outs from it. Great. I mean, strong. You got that cushion. It is a little bit bigger, so I mean, you can, enjoy reading it. They put more to the art on the pages. I mean, different stuff like that. Just the quality and stuff of it. I mean, they're amazing. So I would have to say Udon Entertainment. They're not a really big company. It seems like, because there's not a lot of titles that come out from them, but they do have a lot of really good titles if you haven't tried them out. So I would highly recommend that. Yeah, so the way the book is, I totally highly recommend that. The way they are with people that enjoy their content, like I said, getting back in contact and all that other stuff. The stories. I mean, the stories, I don't think I've ever not had one of the stories that Udon's published and not like sat back and went, wow, like this was such a great story. Like, even the random stories that I've gotten from them before, it's something that just makes you sit back and you're just, wow, this is like a really good series, and it's all done by them. They picked it and they published it and everything else, and it's stuff that I feel like we wouldn't imagine. I mean, it's stories that kind of like far reach, but I mean, we need a publisher that does that. So, Udon's my go ahead, and not only that, but who hasn't wanted to have some a bowl of udon noodles or whatever? So, I mean, udon is pretty good. So, anyway, moving on from there. what bookcase is your favorite, and show it. As you can see, this is my only bookshelf that is disorderly. We have Golden Kamuy 1 through 6, 7 is somewhere. I mean, everything is kind of random in here because I either lost room. There's so much good stuff that I've had to like take it and just put it in there. My other bookshelves, I try and show you the series everywhere where you can at least tell, hey, this is a series in there. You might not be able to see the whole series, but you can see it all. This is like 2 layers deep all the way to the floor. Not a lot more I can add into it. About to have to move these pops off and put them somewhere else. I mean, a lot of different stuff. So, that's my favorite bookshelf. I probably need to do another video on that. That was one of my first videos. I've added some to it. I don't know how much I've added to it, but I've added a lot to it. Probably like 10 titles. Hopefully, fingers crossed. No more than that. Because if I did, we're probably going to have to jump over and use the second shelf for my favorite shelf as well. But anyway. Okay. What is the worst manga, but give 3 good points about it? Gosh, that's a lot. I mean, I would probably have to go with the idea of manga. Usually ones that I consider to be kind of bad. I mean, I don't really have one that is like the ultimate worst. That isn't one that I would be able to talk about. If it's like the worst manga in my series or in my collection, I would have to say, as far as that goes, it's the worst because I still liked it because I picked it up. I liked the idea behind it, but actually getting into the story, I thought the story was crap. Or the idea behind it was kind of crap. Or something like that. I mean, yeah. So, I would probably just go with the general ones like that. So, 3 points about them. Just in general, ones that I think are semi-bad or whatever. I still picked it up. Ones that aren't finished, I mean, it's still good to do that because it gives you a break from other ones. And, I mean, taking that break, reading one that you have lower expectations, and sometimes you can find a gem. You can find a gem that you wouldn't have known before. So, there's one. 2, I would say, not having an ending lets you theorize and go forward with it of what you think would have happened. What ended this story? You know, if such and such happened and there's a big fight scene, you think that this big bad boss guy won and the whole world is destroyed, or did this guy win and the world is safe and everything else? And, you know, did he die a peaceful death? Is he still living? You have so many different things that you can assume yourself just because of who you are. So I guess it's 2. And I mean, you picked it up. So most time if you pick up a series, before you find out about that, it might be a series that you're reading and it doesn't continue. And you might like it, you know, you never know, it might not do that, but you liked it during the point until you found out, hey, it's not going to get finished. I hate the series now. So, things like that. I mean, you always have different things that could happen, things that you theorize that you don't want to happen. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you can enjoy as far as it goes. So, let's see. What have you enjoyed most and least about being a manga tuber? These are kind of like the same coin, but the opposite side. So, the best thing I would say is the subscribers. but not just the subscribers that sit there and actually talk to you. You know, they want to tell you you're doing a good job. They want to ask you questions. They want to know how they can do better. If they become manga tubers, what's a series that you recommend to them because they like X, Y, Z for different series? What's an older series they can get into? What's all this? People that basically ask questions, want to know all this information. Those are the ones that are actually, I find that I enjoy more. And those are the people that I feel like we've started pulling into our community, especially being people that have gotten back with me and been like, I watched your videos, you know, basically making me feel like, hey, you're an average Joe. And I watched your videos and you doing it made me know, like, hey, I can do it. Different stuff like that. You always get those different people that come out and they tell you, hey, I watched your videos. You were the person that made me want to try my hand at doing my videos. Stuff like that. I always enjoy those people. I mean, they're always the best. I always like to see all those different people talking and everything, and then for them to get on and say, hey, I've watched you for a little while. I've started a manga channel. Can you, give me a shout out? Something like that. I mean, one of the guys, Flip Otaku Mike, if either one of you guys watch this, Otaku Dads Unite. I don't know what our little symbol is, but can we put our fingers together to form the word dad or something? I don't know. But I gave Flip Otaku some shout outs and stuff, and asked some other people to do it, and now Flip Otaku is in the ranks. I'll just say that. Flip Otaku has gotten up in the ranks, and part of it was that help. It was just a little push, and he's put out content himself and has earned all those subs. So seeing somebody start out with hardly any subs in this community right now, getting a shout out from some of us bigger people, and then just getting skyrocketed into it. I mean, that's what is making our community hold together so well right now. I find it a lot better than when I first got into it back last March. We were all kind of scattered, and it just kind of, it built on itself. It just kept going and going and going. New people, said, hey, let's be friends. I'll give a couple more shout outs to some of the other people. Bizarre Individual, I mean, just being friends. We just talked, and that's it. That's all we did. We just talked. We started hanging out. We texted. We started talking to each other on the phone, talking to each other on social media. And now, like, me and a Bizarre Individual get associated so much now. I mean, Lohali, AmeskeOHJ, like some of these other people, Toaster Cat, Danny D, Lindsay Tutt, all these people were people that were in the community basically when I started. Well, not Lohali, but everybody else. And we all kind of grew as a friend group and then kind of all started moving in the same direction. It wasn't, I'm by myself. I can't have friends in this community. I can't do that, which is one of the things that kills me, why bigger manga tubers can't view it the same way. I understand, but that's why it really took me so long to put my collection video out, is because I didn't want to be known as that person that basically had almost 4,000 manga or 35,000 manga or something like that, because I didn't want all that fame and fortune off the bat. Now I guess we're kind of there where it's good to get it as we go, but I didn't want any of that. I waited to put all that stuff out because I wanted to build a friend group instead of building basically, this is my channel, I'm going to post once a month. I wanted people to talk to. So that's kind of where we went from there. Not getting crazy and doing all that other stuff. So But like I said, now Lohali, some of the other people that you guys see as big people in the community, you guys might not know this, but they're a lot fresher than you think. 5 months, 3 months, different stuff like that. People that have only been on for a couple months and have been basically sponsored by the rest of us, taken in, nurtured, and have sprouted out from their plant seed overnight to become a flower, or something like that, and being able to stand on their own in this community. And people that were scared to do it before and now coming out of the woodwork and saying, I can do this because there's a community that's not going to sit there and tell me I can't do this and I'm going to fail at it and everything else, and actually give me feedback on what I can do to make my channel better. Different stuff like that. That's stuff that we wouldn't have originally had, I don't think, without a lot of the people that we have in the community now. Some of them, like I said, Bizarre Individual, Toaster Cat, Danny D, people that were here before I got here, and adding more people in when I got here, and more people in now that we're ongoing, and even more people now every day that we get into our community. I mean, it's spectacular, guys. I totally enjoy our community now, 100% better than what it was when we first started. And I don't think it would have been possible without all those other people, and us being a big friend group and wanting to do all that and do videos together. And I mean, creating a new style of video or of entertainment, I guess. We can call it, I don't know, friendertainment, maybe. Don't coin me on that because it sounded like a stupid word, but you got what I'm saying, okay? The worst part is, and I still have to relate this back to Otaku Mike because I totally think Otaku Mike jinxed me. Otaku Mike gave me a question whenever I did my last giveaway, which was, have you ever had any problems with trolls? And right before I get to his batch of questions, I get some trolls on my questions. Maybe like 5 of them. So it was just really funny. But trolls are what tear down the community. I hate to say it. But guys, if you get one, I would say let the rest of the community know. That's the way that we're going to be able to get them out. If they comment on 3 of our stuff, we can complain. I mean, we can do all this other stuff. And most of the time, they're going to get pulled out of the batch, or they're going to get upset or tired or whatever. I mean, they're trolls. Trolls don't stay along for a while, especially if you play D&D. Just saying. Trolls usually get killed off. Even though they regenerate, trolls die real easily. Because nobody likes them, and they all kill them at once. Or, going with Lord of the Rings, just because I'm looking at them in the camera. Or rather, The Hobbit. Most of the time, trolls are so dumb that by the time they don't realize what they got into, just like in The Hobbit, they forget the sun comes up and they turn to stone. That's just what happens. So, but that's the worst part of the community is when we get those people, especially when they say really bad things like they did to Elias and some of the other people. We did have a couple of them floating around for a little while. I think they've died off or they've gone to some of you other guys. But, I mean, the Discord's pretty good about keeping that under control. Kind of like our own, like, little, I don't know, squad or something. So, that was question 6. Question 7. What's one anime where the manga was better, or vice versa? One where the manga was better. Just because you used it to AmeskeOHJ, Goblin Slayer. Goblin Slayer manga was 10 times better than the anime. I watched the anime and I was like, what's going on here? Like, and why do I need those people's backstory? Sure, they're destined to die and other things happen in Goblin Slayer that we won't go into. But why do I need their backstory? They're not even important or vital to the story. Don't give me the backstory for those people. So that one for sure. A one that's vice versa, where the anime was better than the manga. I would probably have to say D and Angel, just because I know how that one was and stuff like that. It was probably a lot better than that one. But anyway, guys, we've been at this for like 30 minutes, so I hope you guys have a great time watching this video. Comment ideas, whatever you think, down below. I will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Jen Graves out. I have like 3 more videos to make for y'all, so we might change our venue maybe. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for watching. Jen Graves out. Bye.